Hey, remember computer lab? Well, it technically still happens in school, but I mean computer lab. Computer lab is in like the 90s, possibly the late 80s, 2000s computer lab where it wasn't popular. Well, let's say it wasn't really widespread as it is now for people to have personal computers and personal devices at home or on their person. So yeah, remember a computer lab? Go to school. If you were a kid like me, it was probably some of the few time that you got to see a computer because I didn't get mine till I was in my teens. So it was possibly the only time that you got exposed to computers. And you get to play in elementary and possibly middle school. You did like educational little games and shit like Bailey's Book House and Sammy's Science House and Family Reader and stuff like that. Number Munchers. I know y'all gotta know what that is, especially from the 80s and early to mid 90s. Y'all better know what Number Munchers is. The thing about computer lab is that it's kind of tricky depending on who you ask. Because if you're like me, and if you're blind or have any other disabilities that would make technology a little bit more interesting, then unless you had your TVI or any other powers that be teaching you computer skills with JAWS or anything like that, computer lab was sort of interesting or for you non-existent. Because it's not just like home and personal devices were not as widespread as they were today. Neither was like accessible technology and stuff like that. And of course, the regular computer lab teacher, and I'm not talking about TVIs, I'm talking about the teacher that actually taught computer lab, they didn't really know about that stuff. So basically, you would just have to either sit there or stay back in class while everybody else go to computer lab, or just go to computer lab with a TVI or with one of your friends. You do the actual work, and then your friend does the fun part. They type on your computer, and of course they have to do the activity too, so they have to do it on their computer too. So it's not much fun. You don't actually get to experience the game. It's basically it's you doing the work and then them backseat driving and hitting the buttons and shit. And it's so boring. Well, nowadays it's a little bit better. A, people have their own devices now. B, personal devices they either come out of the box accessible or they have their own. It's easier to get a hold of some kind of accessibility mod. For example, if you're blind and use Windows, you just download NVDA on a flash stick, and then like put it into the computer that you're using in computer lab, and then if the software that they got you doing is accessible, then there you go. And then if you're a Braille user, you just like take a Braille display, or you could take one of the newer note takers that have Android instead of their own little niche operating system. But that was computer lab, especially if you were disabled.